Hello, my dear friend, class 11. Now, after 1 week, I'm now going to start the last part of the story, The Comedy of Errors. উইলিয়াম শেক্সপিয়ারের এই কমেডি অফ এররসের যে শেষ অংশটুকু আছে আজকে আমি চেষ্টা করব সেটাকে শেষ করে দেওয়ার। And my dear student, I'm trying to explain the matter in lucid English, and I hope that you will realize this one. I know some students have a problem to discuss the matter properly or realize the matter properly. But don't worry, I'm also explaining in Bengali also. So যারা বাংলা মিডিয়াম স্টুডেন্ট আছো তাদের ক্ষেত্রে আশা করি কোনো প্রবলেম হবে না। But it is my earnest request that without explaining in English, it's never been possible to learn the language properly. কারো কারো হয়তো মনে হতে পারে যে অনেক ইংরেজি বলছে, শুধু ইংরেজিতেই বোঝাচ্ছে। কোনো কোনো স্টুডেন্টের হয়তো এটা মনে হতে পারে, বাট হার্ডলি I want to communicate you through this lesson, and I hope so you will also communicate with your friends and others through this language, what will make the confidence level more high. Nothing else. So, আর বেশি আলোচনা নয়. Now today I am going to finish this story. I hope you have already make word notes and try to explain the meaning here according to the passage. So last day I told you the lady abbess actually given the shelter to the elder Antipulus. No, younger Antipulus and younger Dromio. In the meantime, when Adriana came with Luciana and wanted to escape Antipulus younger and younger Dromio, just thinking that they are the elder Dromio and elder Antipulus. But Lady Abbess had some principle there. And she never wanted to escape a man who gets shelter under her shade. So she wanted to verify the matter. Now how she had verified? And what happened then? Lady Abbess কিভাবে আদ্রিয়ানাকে ভেরিফাইড করেছিল before giving or before allowing her to enter or to check up the elder Antipulus or the younger Antipulus, or they were their mad husband or not. Now let's start. The lady abbess was not to give up a man who had sought his help, so she herself tried to inquire and find out the real cause of the disturbance. She was a wise lady, and so she questioned wife about the story she told of her husband's madness. She inquired if he if the cause of madness was due to a loss of a merchandise at sea or the death of a dear friend. When Adriana denied both, then the abbess reflected that it could be for his affection to another lady that had driven him to this state. Actually, it was not the love of another lady, but the jealous temper of his wife that had often led him to leave his house and suspecting enough. To this, Adriana confessed that she had not allowed her husband to sleep in bed without answering her, nor did she allow him to eat without facing her questions. Even when they were alone, she brought up the topic in her conversation. She had thus tried her best to remove the lady from her husband, but had failed to do so. So this paragraph will provide you the story যে কিভাবে লেডি অ্যাবেস ভেরিফাইড করেছিল আদ্রিয়ানাকে, যে what is the reason behind it, whether her husband lost some merchandise at the sea, কোনো জিনিসপত্র, মার্চেন্ডাইজ মানে থিংস, হারিয়ে গেছে, or the death of dearest one. এই দুটো কারণের কোনো একটা কারণ তো হবে যার জন্যে her husband actually turned into mad, পাগল হয়েছিল। সো এখানে একটা কোশ্চেন আসতে পারে, what according to Abbess, what was the reason behind the madness of elder Antipholus? But Adriana denied the both reasons. সে কিন্তু অস্বীকার করেছিল, which one? That no, there have no reasons behind his madness, that is loss of merchandise or death of nearest one. So at the moment when Adriana actually denied this two reasons, now what happened? Actually it was not the love of another lady. Now she predicted that what's the original reasons behind it, whether Adriana jealous for her husband, whether Adriana actually cheated her husband, whether her husband was really exhausted or really, vexatious about her husband, about her wife behavior. What was the main reasons? Now, when Lady Abbess interrogated Adriana repeatedly, বারে বারে যখন করছিল তখন কি করলো সে? He actually confessed, সে স্বীকার করেছিল যে he was not allowed her husband to eat without giving the answer. Her husband was not allowed to bed without giving the answer. That means Lady Abbess was quite clear that how Adriana tortured her husband, and that's why he became mad. Now the Lady Abbess, thus getting the pictures of their marital discord, informed Adriana that it was for her jealous temper she had turned her husband mad. She had not let him sleep, which made his mind light, not eat properly, which caused it indigestions, nor could he talk freely, which diverted him from any kind of relaxations or recreations. So her continuous growls have affected his temper so severely, turning him insane. So Lady Abbess announced quite confidently, after getting the informations all from both sides, দুজনকারের কাছ থেকেই যখন সব ইনফরমেশনসগুলো সে পেল, সে আদ্রিয়ানাকে বলেছিল যে her husband actually turned mad due to her, because she was not provided him nutritious food, never allowed him to get the proper relaxations in the house, and never allow him to talk freely. So in that circumstances, a man never been feel good, live happily in the home. And that's why he became insane. He became insane. Say pagod hoye geche. So it was the total blame to Adriana. So let's what happened. এখানেও একটা কোশ্চেন তোমরা লিখতে পারো. What are the reason produced? What are the reason produced by the Lady Abbess against the insane condition of elder Antipulus? Luciana would have excused her sister, saying that she always reprehended her husband mildly, and she said to her sister, why do you hear these rebukes without answering them? But the abbess made her see her fault so plainly that her sisters could only answer, she has betrayed me to my own reproof. Adriana, though ashamed of her conduct, demanded her husband to be returned to her. But the Lady Abbess did not want the gentleman to be delivered to the care of such a jealous woman, herself thinking means, and was to recover him from his state as gently as possible. So these two paragraphs will show you the two incidents. One way, the Luciana actually informed, reprehended her husband, and she always actually saying her sister want to make the confident, wants to increase the power to say something. অর্থাৎ এখানে লুসিয়ানা কিন্তু এক্সকিউজড হার সিস্টার, তাকে উদ্বুদ্ধ করার একটা চেষ্টা করছে যে বলো তুমি কেন চুপচাপ আছো, তুমি খালি তার বকানি শুনছো কেন? why do you hear these rebukes from the Lady Abbess? Why do you not answering that what's the blame actually given to you? That was all not correct. She has betrayed me to my own reproof. That means Luciana actually চাইছে যে Adriana must be produce the reason behind the madness, behind the incident, what actually happened, and wants to prove himself, wants to show himself that she was really innocent about this incident. And that paragraph, Adriana, though ashamed of her conduct, demanded her husband to be returned to her. In that circumstances, Lady Abbess did not want to allow the gentleman to be this kinds of lady who is actually jealous, a jealous woman who did not allow the husband proper, freedom in the family life. তার মানে লেডি অ্যাবেস কিন্তু এখানে অ্যালাউ তাকে করলো না। কি ব্লেম দিল? যে হি ওয়াজ ইরেসপন্সিবল ওয়াইফ, she was irresponsible, she was jealous, and she did not allow elder Antipulus in the ground where a husband actually expected from his wife. During the course of the day in which so many errors had happened because of the similarity of the two twins brothers' prayers, the old Aegon's day was passing by, and he was doomed to die if he could not pay the fine imposed on him for being an Apicus. Now the twist, the error actually coming. According to the author, the whole day was going to be so many errors. কি কি error হয়েছিল? অনেকগুলো ভুল ঘটনা. Now it is one started from that, the golden necklace, given one, asking money to others. The second is now, eating a dinner. It is elder younger Antipholus, but actually they thought he was elder Antipholus. Next, there was money was given. The price of the golden chain was given to the younger Dromio. What Adrian actually thought it was given to the elder Dromio. And the taken money was given to the younger Antipholus. But everyone thought that it was given to elder Antipholus. So in that way, haphazardly, everything was going to be an error. Coincidentally, it was going on. ঘটছিল আর এদিকে কি হচ্ছিল? Now the day of the agons come to be an end. শেষের দিকে আসছে, তাকে এবার কি করা হবে? He doomed to die. He was going to be dead without, if he was unable to impose or unable to pay the fine. সে যদি দিতে না পারে তাহলে কি করা হবে? তাকে এবার মৃত্যু শাস্তি দিতে হবে। The place of his execution was near to convent, and he arrived there just as the abbess retired to the convent. The duke himself attended the place so that if any one came forward to pay the fine, he could pardon the old man at that moment. কোথায় ঘটনাটা ঘটছে? Just before the convent. Execution কোথায় হবে? কোথায় তাকে মৃত্যু দেওয়া হবে? Just before the convent. একদম কাছাকাছি. It is very near to the convent. And the duke himself attended this place so that if anyone, এখনো কিন্তু duke চাইছে, the duke actually wanted that someone would come and pay the fine, and might be he pardoned him, old man, on that moment. That means the king also, the duke also expected that someone would come and help this old man. So he believed that old man was a right one. এখানে একটা কোশ্চেন কিন্তু খুব সুন্দর লিখতে পারো যে what was the original heart of the duke? What did the duke actually think about the old man Agons? Adriana stopped his possessions and cried out to the duke of her husband's lunacy and the desperate situations that she was in because the abbess refused to deliver her husband to her care. Just as she was speaking, her real husband, who got free from the captivity, came before the duke and demanding justice, complaining of his wife's order to bind and confine them on charge of lunacy. He then related in that manner he and his servant had broken the bands and escaped the prying eyes of his vigilant keepers. Adriana was surprised to see her husband as she thought that she was in the care of convent. Now Adriana actually stopped this process, what was going on, to give the execution of the old man Agons, because she wanted her husband. In that situation, the duke of her husband Duneshi and the desperate situations that she was in became the abbess refused to deliver her husband. And Adriana loudly actually informed to the duke that Lady Abbess actually did not want to allow her husband to her care. অর্থাৎ এখানে আদ্রিয়ানও কিন্তু প্রোটেস্ট করতে চাইছে যে তার হাজবেন্ডকে দেওয়া হচ্ছে না। জাস্ট এটা যখন সে বলছে, on that moment she said, he actually watched that her real husband, means the elder Antipholus, actually wanted to go for informing the duke about his problem. তার আবার কি প্রবলেম ছিল? Because his wife was not allowing him in food. His wife actually not giving him the proper money. He then related in what manner and his servant had broken, means they have confined them. তাহলে দেখো এই প্যারাতে will clear you what was the error. ভালো করে কিন্তু এটা মনে রাখতে হবে। Adriana actually wants to inform about the problem that Abbess actually created. That Abbess কিন্তু তাকে দিচ্ছে না, লেডি অ্যাবেস তার হাজবেন্ডকে অ্যালাউ করছে না। অন্যদিকে তার রিয়েল হাজবেন্ড অর্থাৎ এল্ডার অ্যান্টিপোলাস সে বলছে যে তার ওয়াইফ অ্যাকচুয়ালি তাকে এন্টার করতে দিচ্ছে না বাড়িতে এবং তাদেরকে কনফাইন করে রেখেছে পাগল বলে। তাহলে ইনসাইড দ্য অ্যাবেস কে আছে? ইনসাইড দ্য আন্ডার দ্য সুপারভিশন অফ লেডি অ্যাবেস কারা আছে? ইয়াঙ্গার অ্যান্টিপোলাস অ্যান্ড ইয়াঙ্গার ড্রোমিও। ভালো করে মনে করে দেখো এই জায়গাটা। He then related in what manner and his servant has broken then praying এইখানটা ভালো করে বোঝো একটু। Adriana was surprised to see her husband as she thought that she was in the care of the convent. Adriana ভাবছে যে younger Antipolas, younger Dromio was in the convent means সে ভেবেছিল যে তার হাজবেন্ড এখন ভেতরে আছে, এখানে কি করে এলো? Why he and his servant actually came out from the convent? কি করে এটা possible? The confusion is going on. Agon, seeing his elder son, mistook him from Antipolas of Circus and thought that his son would pay for his fine and that he would be relieved. Agon spoke to him with a fatherly affection and hoped to be released soon from the state, but Antipolas denied having known the person and said that he had never seen his father since the storm that happened in his infancy. Agon thought that his son might be behaving in that manner because of a grief and an anxieties that he had faced so long as in search for his brother, or that he has assumed in such a state. In the midst of these confusions, the abbess and Antipolas of Circus, as well as other Dromio, came out to the astonishment of Adriana, who saw two husbands and two Dromios. This is the actual general twist, you know. What happens? Agon যখনই দেখেছিল কাকে? এল্ডার অ্যান্টিপোলাসকে, সে ভেবেছিল কি? That was my son actually coming and she must be provide the fine and he would be released from the jail. But happened different things. ভেবেছিল এক, হয়ে গেল আরেক। এল্ডার অ্যান্টিপোলাস স্বীকার করে ঘোষণা করেছিল, announced that he did not know that his father কখন থেকে? When he was actually detached from his family after the storm. ঝড়ের পরে তারা যখন ডিটাচড হয়ে গেছিল একবার ইনফেন্সিতে, চাইল্ডহুডে, তারপর এখন ভাবলো, এখন thought that it was happened. His son actually behaving like that because he was exhausted. He was actually anxieties. এত বছর খুঁজেছে, খুঁজে খুঁজে মাকে, ছেলেকে, ভাইকে খুঁজতে গিয়ে, ব্রাদারকে, মাদারকে খুঁজতে গিয়ে হয়তো সেও পাজলড হয়ে গেছে, like him. He was assumed in such a state, হয়তো সে লজ্জিত বোধ করছে in this situation, to prove, to show himself that he was my father, to recognize himself. In that circumstances, another twist was given by the author. আরেকটা twist এখানে ঘটে গেল কি? The Antipolas of Circus came in. অর্থাৎ younger Dromio, younger Antipolas came out from the Lady Abbess convent. Now what happened? Now Adriana saw two husbands, two servants. দুটো টুইন্সকে একসঙ্গে সে দেখতে পাচ্ছে, দুটো ড্রোমিও এবং দুটো অ্যান্টিপোলাস। And then when the Duke saw the two pairs of be so alike, he at once made out the roots of the problem. He had heard of the tale related to Agons and understood that they were his sons and twin slaves that had bought. So it was quite clear to the Duke about the story of Agons, and it was comes to be true. সুতরাং গল্পটা যখন সত্যতা সে বুঝতে পারলো যে দুটো twin sons, actually elder Antipolas and younger Antipolas, and two servant sons, that is younger Dromio and elder Dromio. Now Agon was very happy as his sorrowful tale that he had related to the Duke in the morning came to happy conclusions. By the end of the day, he had found both the sons and also his long lost wife, who was the abbess of the convent, and disclosed her identity at the moment. Now finally it is a happy ending because Agon's got his wife, who was actually turned into abbess in this convent, and the two sons that is younger Antipholus and elder Antipholus, and the two servant sons, that was, elder Dromio and younger Drogo. But she did not disclose this one, and disclosed her identity at that moment. Now all the identifications actually disclosed, সেখানে প্রকাশিত হলো. When the fisherman took her son and the slave child, she entered nunnery, and due to her wise and virtuous dispositions, she was raised to the statue of the lady abbess of this convent. Little did she know that when she was trying to protect the two strangers, she was actually protecting her own sons. Now, this paragraph will provide you the past story, that how Lady Abbess actually giving the protections of two men, that is actually her two sons, and the man who was in front of him, he was her husband. Now the exuberance of the family, this incident actually, type of incident, a reunion, almost the aerosol, that recollections of the pending sentence that hang over Aegon's till then. At length, when the family calmed down, Antipholus of Ephesus offered to pay the ransom for his father's release, but the Duke pardoned Aegon's and did not take the money. And the Duke followed the abbess and her two sons along with their fathers to hear the laser about the happy conclusions to the hen's sorrowful tale. The two twins Romeos also congratulated each other on their fortunes, and each praised the others for their looks, their joy knowing no bounds on finding the other safe. So the 47 paragraphs will come to an happy ending. Antipholus of Ephesus now ready to pay the money, but the Duke did not allow to provide it, because he knew all the truth story of Aegon's, and she was really happy with the happy endings of family. Adriana had also profited from her mother-in-law's advice. She never ever ventured to unjustly suspect her husband or be jealous of him. Now, Adriana কিন্তু এখানে realize the situations, and actually wanted to communicate herself with her mother-in-law. Finally, Antipholus of Circus married in fair Luciana, the sister of his brother's wife, and Aegon with his wife and her two sons lived at Ephesus for many more years. But the unavailing of this confession did not, however, completely resolve future issues, where one brother may be confused with the other one, making altogether a pleasant and diverting comedy of errors. Therefore, the happy family is now continued to live in this Ephesus city for many years. But it was continued. Which one? The errors of life is continuing. So that's all, my dear students. I've just today finished the story. Just write down the summary. আমি আবার বলছি, সামারি লেখো, অ্যান্ড এই যে ওয়ার্ডসগুলো আছে, এই ওয়ার্ডসগুলো একটু চেষ্টা করবে করার, অ্যান্ড রাইট ডাউন এ সেন্টেন্স অফ দিস: obliged, differentiate, contriving, clinging, alter, custody, jest, groundless, bewitched, sorcerers, allegation, perplexed, merchandise, brawls. এগুলো দিয়ে একটু বাক্য লেখার চেষ্টা করুন. I hope this will help you more, and it will create a more confidence to your belief that yes, I can do. আমি পারি, আমিও লিখতে পারি. একবার করে দেখো আমার সাথে. আমি জানি এতে কোনো ইংলিশের হনু হওয়ার কিছু নেই এর মধ্যে, বা ইংরেজি বললেই যে হনু হয়ে যাবে তার কোনো মানে নেই। ব্যাপারটা হচ্ছে যে যত বলবে ইংরেজিটা আমার মনে হয় কনফিডেন্স লেভেলটা অনেক বাড়বে। আমিও বেঙ্গলি মিডিয়াম স্টুডেন্ট, আমি এইভাবেই আমার কনফিডেন্স লেভেলটাকে বাড়িয়েছি। সো মাই ডিয়ার স্টুডেন্টস, প্লিজ ডু দ্যাট, ডোন্ট মাইন্ড।